وفاء بشتى الصور أحب الوفي الأمين أرى.
Join me, Faisal MJ Sulaiman, this and every Saturday on Rise and Shine. Looking forward to gracing the airwaves of Radio Al Ansar from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Rise and Shine.
وفاء بشتى الصور أحب الوفاء.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM, Kilo Maritzburg, 105.6 FM.
فأهل الوفاء كلون.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم سيدنا محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord, cherisher, nourisher, sustainer and master of the universe, the most gracious, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Ya Allah, it is in you that we worship and your guidance that we seek. Ya Allah, keep us on the straight path. Ya Allah, show us the choice of blessings. Ya Allah, show us the mercy. Ya Allah, guide us. Greetings, salam, salutations in our beloved Nabi Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It's now 5 minutes past 7 on this beautiful Saturday morning. Yes, it's nice and warm out there. The atmosphere outside is absolutely beautiful and inspiring us. And welcome to Rise and Shine on Radio Al Ansar with myself, Faisal MJ Sulaiman. Yes, if I wanted to greet you, then Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope that you are having an absolutely wonderful morning, inshallah. My team this morning, Sibo Niso engineering for me, which means we're going to be listening to some lovely nasheeds. And of course, I've got Wasima Bucks, that's correct. I'm just looking at some messages that are coming through. We've got Wasima Bucks who's attending to logistics, and this program is produced by Hajra Kota. That's Rise and Shine for you this morning. But let's start the show with some inspiration.
لذاك الذي قد غادر أحب الوفاء بشتى الصور.
As much as you can, try to keep your focus on the right things. Because I mean, as we go through life, if I go back to my analogy of the compass or the GPS, you're driving and sometimes you get off track, you know what I mean? But just keep bringing it back. Keep bringing it back to your focus. Keep renewing that focus. Keep reorienting your heart and remembering what is most important. Because it is really easy to get caught up. It's very easy to get caught up in the beauty standards and the fashion and our careers and our relationships and our roles in life. It's very easy to get caught up in the money and the whatever. But come back to focus and remembering, after all of this stuff is passed away, what's really going to matter? After everything else is gone, what's going to last? And the answer is actually very simple. Allah says, "Kullu man alayha fan." Everything is passing away. وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. The only thing that's remaining, what will remain is the face of Allah, the countenance of Allah. That's it.
Follow us on Instagram at Radio Al Ansar.
WhatsApp us now on 060 904 1056.
Yes, messages come through on WhatsApp from Sister Leila Mehta. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to the blessed Ummah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Peace, blessings and salutations be upon Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah for the blessings of this day as it glorifies some sujood. Every house needs a sturdy foundation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to build a sturdy foundation for our iman. Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower unlimited blessings upon you and your family. Ameen. Have a blessed and safe weekend. Salams and dua, Sister Leila Mehta and family. And then we go on to inspiring reflections. Whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes away, He brings it back 10 times better. And the hadith for this morning is Bismillahi walhamdulillahi wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. Sayyidina Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhuma reported the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam would walk with such vigor that it would be known he was neither weak nor lazy. Jazakallah khair for that beautiful messages, Sister Leila Mehta. 060 904 1056. You are listening to Rise and Shine.
Audio stream across the world on radioalansar.co.za.
मैं जाऊं मैं देखूं मोहम्मद का रोजा बुला लो मदीना मुझे मेरे मौला मैं जाऊं मैं देखूं मोहम्मद का रोजा वो जिनको थी बरसों से आंखें तरसती जो हो जाए जलवा रहेगी बरसती वो जिनको थी बरसों से आंखें तरसती जो हो जाए जलवा रहेगी बरसती जो हो जाए
WhatsApp us now on 060-904-1056.
Message comes from Sister Ruqayya. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My brother Faisal and the Rise and Shine team. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Beautiful is the heart that understands someone else's pain. Beautiful is the hand that holds someone else's during difficult times. Beautiful is the person that thinks or wants good for others. And beautiful is the person whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed with these beautiful characteristics. Ameen. Don't let me ever turn away from you, no matter how many trials and difficulties you test me with. Let these difficulties serve me to make me a stronger Muslim and more sincere to you, Allah. Ameen, summa ameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aap aur aapki family ko hamesha khush aur salamat rakhe. Ameen. May my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, my brother Faisal, your family, and the Rise and your family, the Rise and Shine team, and the entire Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen. And this message comes from Sister Ruqayya. A message that then comes, okay, I can't read that unfortunately because that seems to be, yeah, it's just an emoji. But of course, it seems to be somebody who's very, very tired. Unless he's telling me I'm boring, you're putting me off to sleep, I'm not sure.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM, Peter Maritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Ya Nabi Sallu alayhi
wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Khutamul Islam and you're listening to Radio Ansar.
तू कुजा मन कुजा जी बिस्मिल्लाह तू कुजा मन कुजा पढ़ सकते हैं कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा तू अमीरे हरम मैं फकीरे गजम तू अमीरे हरम मैं फकीरे गजम तेरे गुण और ये लब मैं तलब की तलब तेरे गुण और ये लब मैं तलब की तलब तू बता ही अता तू कुजा मन कुजा तू कुजा मन कुजा.
Message comes from Sister Hafiza. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If your heart is beautiful, you will love others. If your tongue is beautiful, others will love you. Little words can soothe big troubles. Little hugs can dry big tears. Little candles light the darkness. Little memories last for years. It's the little things in life that brings the greatest happiness. May your days ahead be filled with joy, laughter, and all the little things that make you smile. Ameen. May you have a beautiful day. Please remember the family and my entire and the entire mind in your du'as. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To Sister Hafiza, thank you for that beautiful message. Message from Brother M.H. Osman. Assalamu alaikum Faisal Bhai. Always good listening to you. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, Brother Osman wants me to just read a little poster. He talks about a fundraising Brian Market Day taking place on Sunday, the 8th of December, 2024 at 9 a.m. at 233 Spencer Road. And of course, it says it's for free entry and is for free Palestine. Do pop in that there's a fee that's involved for purchasing a braai pack. But yes, that's a fundraising braai and market day that's taking place at. Just trying to get the address again at 233 Spencer Road on the 8th of December 2024. Thank you for that message, Brother M.H. Osman.
मैं भटकी हुई हूँ, मेरा घर खाक पर और तेरी ना गुजर, मेरा घर खाक पर और तेरी ना गुजर, सिदरतुल मुंतहा तू कुजा मन कुजा, तू कुजा मन कुजा, तू कुजा मन कुजा, तू कुजा मन कुजा, खैरुल बशर रुतबा तेरा, खैरुल बशर रुतबा तेरा, आवाज़
Join Fatima Kareem on the Community Buzz every Saturdays between 3 and 4, the show that connects you to your community. Tune in for inspirational stories from local heroes, updates on community events and news, engaging discussions on topics that matter, as well as exciting interviews. So join Fatima Kareem on the Community Buzz every Saturday between 3 and 4. Community Buzz, your voice, your community, only on Radio Al Ansar.
Come get our butcher's best for less at Checkers Foods Cowie Park. Enjoy certified halal butchery products like chicken breast fillets just $59.99 per kg, Dorsland wurst just $79.99 per kilo, half lamb just $89.99 per kg, and Danya sausages just $89.99 per kg. Deals valid until Sunday, December 1st, only at Checkers Foods Cowie Park, now certified by the NIHT, the National Independent Halal Trust, across our butchery, bakery, and deli.
This and only this is Nightline. Nightline is the only program that allows you to listen to the opportunity to voice your opinion on any matter or any topic that concerns you. Also on Nightline, we interview the famous, the not so famous, and infamous. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Brother Muhammad Variawa, and with me in the studio is Dr. Anwar Jiwa. Join us every Saturday night from 8:30 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. on Nightline, the program designed especially for you, the listener.
أحب الوفاء بشتى الصور، أحب الوفي الأمين الأغر، فأهل الوفاء.
You're listening to Rise and Shine on Radio Al Ansar with myself, Faisal M.J. Suleiman. Now, global efforts to tackle the plastic pollution crisis are underway in South Korea, where negotiators are grappling with critical issues, including setting legal limits on plastic production. We have online with us Zainab Sadan, the WWF's Global Plastics Policy Lead based in South Africa. Zainab, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and jazakallah khair for joining me on the program this morning.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
An absolute pleasure. Now, the global plastic production has doubled in the past 20 years, and it could double again by 2040. Can you explain why this increase is happening and what the long-term consequences could be if it's not addressed?
Yes, and so the plastic production, consumption, and usage is expanding exponentially. This sector is growing year on year in terms of how we are producing masses and masses of plastics in every single sector, from the automotive industry, construction, all the way through to what we see on our day-to-day in our textiles, but also in food packaging, which is something that we can all relate to in terms of single-use plastics, etc. Now, currently, the regulatory framework at a global level is still fragmented, and the voluntary action that currently exists is insufficient. So we need global binding rules for all states to adhere to ensure that we are able to regulate, firstly, eliminate and ban all the problematic plastic products and also the harmful chemicals that we find in plastics, to ensure we're eliminating all that is harmful. And those that are left on the market, those essential products and packaging that's left on the market, we need to ensure we are designing them in a better way. So we have standards on product design requirements and also transitioning to the alternatives on reuse, but also better products that can be recycled at the end of life. We need all these global measures as well as the resources to fund countries to implement, to ensure we have a harmonized regulatory framework for plastics.
Now, how severe is the current impact on marine species? And can you share some examples of the damage caused by plastic waste in the oceans?
Yes, of course. So our oceans, our shared oceans, where often plastic pollution is transported through the ocean currents, we're actually finding plastics from the very, very depths of our ocean, the Mariana Trench. Scientists are picking up microplastics in every single type of marine species has encountered some sort of plastic, either through entanglement. So we've seen many images, especially in South African coastlines, of seals and other marine species being entangled in fishing gear and other plastic packaging that ends up in our ocean. Also, we're seeing that some species are ingesting it. So they are actually eating it as if it's food. And that eating of a plastic bag, for example, there's whales that, land up on the shore and mounds and mounds of plastic bags are found in their stomachs, which actually causes their death because all this plastic just gets blocked in their stomach so that they aren't able to, feed any longer. So this is really causing a lot of fatalities in the marine environment, not only fish and other mammals, ocean species, but also marine birds. We're starting to find this as a problem. And then, of course, when it comes to human health, we're finding microplastics in our tap water. We're finding it in different types of foods that we eat and food products that we eat as well. And so this is something we are breathing, we are eating, and scientists are finding it in blood, in our lungs, in brain tissue. And so really this issue is so ubiquitous in our daily lives. Even unborn babies are finding microplastics in the placentas of mothers. And so this is such a serious issue that we need to address it now.
Now, researchers are starting to examine the impact of plastic pollution on human health. What are some of the potential health risks posed by plastic pollution, and how urgent is it for us to address these concerns? Now, I know you did mention that we are consuming lots of products that have ingested these microplastics, etc. But maybe you can just explain to us the potential health risks and posed by plastic pollution, and how urgent it is for us to address these concerns.
So this is actually a new emerging field in science. The research is still being done in terms of the real impact on human health. But the scientists have identified thousands of harmful chemicals found in plastics that has the potential to cause harm to the hormone production systems in humans. They're starting to do some more tests on this particular. It's called endocrine disrupting hormones or chemicals. So this is something that researchers are taking much interest in. There's also certain chemicals that can cause harm to various of our organ systems. This is also being studied recently now. And I think the most critical thing here is that the science says we need to take a precautionary approach. So we need to ensure that we are not intentionally putting humans at risk in terms of the chemicals, but also the microplastics that they are exposed to, given that there where the harms and the effects are still largely unknown. And so scientists are encouraging governments to really take more of the precautionary approach and to ensure that we are banning the harmful chemicals we already know is harmful, and doing putting in regulations to ensure transparency of what the chemicals that exist are in all products that humans are exposed to, and particularly those products that come into contact with food, as well as those that come into contact with baby and children products. These are very important to be prioritized now.
Now, plastic production is a global issue, with plastics often produced in one country and exported elsewhere. How does this international nature of plastic production and waste complicate efforts to tackle the crisis?
Exactly. So this is why we need a global response, because currently products, or actually the raw materials, which is fossil fuels, is actually being extracted in one country, then the products are being manufactured in another, and the import and export market is quite broad as well on the different plastic products. And so this means that governments need to come together to agree on a joint response, to agree on a collective way in which they are going to control what types of products are produced and also what limits are needed. And so the first thing WWF is recommending to governments is we need to ban the most harmful plastic products we are already seeing as likely to end up in nature. There's many studies that are already identifying which of these single-use plastics, the microplastics that are already found in certain products as well. So there's already an initial list that governments can take action on. Then the same goes for the chemicals of concern. Already ban those that we know is harmful and have mechanisms in place to strengthen that over time. The third thing is we want global product design regulations so that any product placed on the market adheres to these criteria and requirements so that we are producing plastics that can be reused or recycled. And then finally, we also calling for governments to develop a financing mechanism that can ensure all countries are able to implement these measures. And then the treaty also needs to be strengthened over time as it responds to new science and new evidence so that it can be fit for purpose in future generations as well.
Now, Zainab, negotiations have been taking place in South Korea this week. Can you give us a sense of the atmosphere at the negotiations and the key points of contentions among different countries?
So currently, we are in almost towards the end of negotiations. We have less than 2 days left for countries and governments to negotiate a strong treaty that contains all the essential elements that I've mentioned. Mm-hmm. Now, governments are currently conducting informal consultations. There was a draft text that was shared just last night with delegates, and this is currently being negotiated and consulted on in informal settings, so such that tomorrow, when the next draft of the text comes out, governments will be able to deliberate and finalize the treaty. Now, there's not a lot of time for them to finalize the key issues, some of which that we already have identified. Currently, in the current text, there is no clear text on global binding rules to eliminate the most harmful products. Now, this is important because at a minimum, this treaty needs to ensure we have a global list of products and chemicals of concern that are harmful that we can, that governments commit to banning, and then strengthening this list over time as and when new science and information comes out. Now, this is very critical, and we are calling on governments and those ambitious states that have already committed in previous meetings. They've mentioned this, and also they've committed to the mandate to negotiate a treaty that actually ends plastic pollution. And this is one of the critical elements that the treaty needs in order to be effective. So WWF is is calling on governments to at least ensure, at a minimum, this treaty has global bans and phase outs of the most harmful plastic products.
Sister Zainab Saddam, I want to thank you for joining me on the program this morning. I mean, you've created awareness on something which many of us just seem to ignore, and which is very important. Now, when you want to address anything globally, we need to start at the micro level. And, if we can do things as individuals, and this can escalate into, communities, nations, etc., and the problem can be addressed. I'm sure before you leave us, you have a message for our listeners.
Of course, individual actions are important, but my wish for the future of citizens everywhere in the world is that they don't need to see harmful plastic products and harmful plastics with harmful chemicals in them on the shelves, that they don't have to see plastic pollution in the streets where they live, in the communities where they live. That is my wish. And in order to do that, we need to ensure that our governments and businesses are held accountable. And to do this, we need to ensure that they are actually negotiating a strong treaty, implementing strong policies, and ensuring that businesses are held accountable for the materials that they put on the market. So I definitely encourage our citizens to add their voice to calling on for these bans and phase outs of the most harmful plastics, and also, of course, taking some of the actions that they can already do, such as using reusable products, and also spreading the message amongst their families, their friends, to ensure that we are being more and more aware of the types of plastics that we are using, but also those people and those leaders that need to be held accountable when it comes to the things that we expose our children to.
Thank you so much for joining me on the program this morning, and all the best to you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much.
We spoke to Zainab Saddam, WWF's Global Plastics Policy Lead based in South Africa. She spoke to us about the global talks on plastic pollution, and of course, it's something that is of concern. 06090411056. We have quite a few messages that have come through. The first message comes from Sister Farah. It is: thought for the day, forgiving others benefits us more than them. The liberation of the heart, mind and soul from the burden of holding it is priceless. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and jazakallah for a mashallah show. Farah, Johannesburg. Shukran wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you. Message from Brother Yusuf Patel: think before you react. We live in angry and frustrating times. Learn to control your innermost urge to retaliate. You don't have to respond to everything. If you don't slow down when you start to see red, you could do significant damage to your life or to your dear ones. Keep the peace, rise above it all. Have a wonderful, safe and peaceful holiday. Take Allah with you wherever you go, your best security guard ever. Keep calm and read Ayatul Kursi all the way. Be first to send your ego on a well-earned vacation. Salams and duas, Brother Yusuf Patel. Jazakallah khair for that beautiful message, Brother Yusuf Patel, and it is so appropriate. Message comes from Sister Amina Ali. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I trust you and the listeners are well. Fantastic program as usual. Just be positive. Jazakallah khair, Sister Amina Ali. And the little message she sends is: it's really nice to wake up in the morning realizing that God has given me another day to live. Yep, I love that, and I got a lovely message right now. Wow, it's celebration times, Siboniso. Well done. Congratulations, my man. Siboniso just reminded me that he's actually growing up today. Happy birthday to you, my man. Well done. Yep, those are the few messages that have come through. 06090411056.
हम तेरे बिना अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा। हम तेरे बिना अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा तुझसे जुदा अगर हो जाएंगे तो खुद से ही हो जाएंगे जुदा अब तुम ही हो बस तुम ही हो या रबी बस तुम ही हो नबी मेरी हर खुशी मेरी जिंदगी बस तुम ही हो या तेरा मेरा रिश्ता है कैसा एक पल दूर गवारा नहीं मेरा सब शाम बस है तेरा वक्त मेरा बस आपका है कोई लम्हा मेरा ना हो तेरे बिना हर सांस पे नाम तेरा अब तुम ही हो बस तुम ही हो या रबी बस तुम ही हो नबी मेरी हर खुशी मेरी जिंदगी बस तुम ही हो My Lord, you have come and saved me. I was lost and found now. You made it so easy.
Teaching you something new every day. Radio Al Ansar.
Join us for a day filled with entertainment and good vibes at the Waterfall Ranch Pop-Up Market. More shopping, more food, and loads of fun for the kids. Explore the breathtaking waterfall, relax under the trees, pony rides, jumping castles, and so much more. Don't miss out. Sunday, December 1st at the Waterfall Ranch, less than an hour away from Pietermaritzburg. For more information, contact 078 1044 260. The Waterfall Ranch Pop-Up Market. Make memories that last.
Have you heard? Have you heard?
Heard what?
The latest. Join me, Kelly Ramazani, for a brand new exciting show every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. for the ultimate guide to navigating the world of careers. We talk about side hustles, unpack careers that are in demand, careers that do not need a degree, job searching, career advancement, personal development, and so much more. Tune in every Saturday, 9 to 10 a.m. to unlock the path of your dream job.
Ria, have you heard about the Durban Summer Suck? It's happening from the 24th December to 5th January at the Durban Exhibition Centre.
Oh my god, yes! I've been dying for something like this. Over 300 stalls with all kinds of shopping, local and international stuff. It's going to be epic!
Totally, and there's food stalls, so we can eat our way through the whole place. What do you think, burgers or sushi for us?
Both. And did you hear that there's going to be entertainment every single day? Plus, they've got carnival games and a fun fair. I'm so ready to win a prize.
Yes, I need to get me one of those giant teddy bears. Oh, and there's a ton of stuff for kids too. So it's perfect for a day out with the family.
Sounds like the ultimate summer hangout. We have to go together, midday to midnight every day. I'm in.
Let's do it. Durban Summer Suck, here we come. Shopping, food, fun. It's going to be amazing.
We are unity, and you are listening to Radio Al Ansar.
Call us now on 0861 904 904.
Eskom has closed the net on 400,000 non-paying customers. This after introducing a prepaid meter upgrade to root out illegal electricity connections. The power utility said this process has decreased the number of zero payers to 1.7 million. We have online with us Eskom spokesperson Ms. Daphne Mukena. Ms. Mukena, good morning to you. Thank you for joining me on the program this morning.
Good morning, Faisal, and good morning to your listeners.
Now, Eskom has recently closed the net on 400,000 non-paying customers through the prepaid meter upgrade. Could you explain how this process works and what prompted Eskom to take such action?
Yeah, no, thank you, Faisal, for the question. So, As you would know that we started with the program last year, around August, which required that we update our meters, our prepaid meters. So we had about 6.9 million meters that we needed to update due to the Standard Transfer Specification Association, meters that were supposed to be updated as the software was expiring on the 24th of November, 2024. So all the suppliers that were using these meters had to update that software before it expires. So as I said, that 6.9 million of our prepaid meters were STS meters that required to be updated. And we started with this program last August. However, as we were rolling out the program, by May, June, we had about 4 million meters that had already been updated. And the updating meant a customer would, when he buys the credit token, as he recharges his meter or her meter, then he will receive 2 sets of 20-digit codes that he will then load on his meter or her meter. And once he has done that, complete the process with the credit token, and then the meter is updated. So what happened is that, as I said, that there were 6.9 million meters. When we reached about 4.9 million meters, we started seeing that was around July. We started seeing that we are slowly now not moving into the 6.9 million or the balance, and then towards the deadline of the 24th of November, we started seeing customers coming through to our offices to update their meters. But most of these customers at the balance, which was at the time about 2.1 million, were zero buyers. Now, what is zero buyers? Zero buyers is those customers that wouldn't have bought electricity for 6 months and more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these customers, as I said, that we started at 2.1, then we encourage them to start the process by going to buy electricity, because that's where the process of upgrading their meters starts. And that's when we then started seeing 400,000 customers having bought electricity, starting to buy electricity, uploading their meters and transacting on this KRN2, which is the new software that we're moving into with these meters. So yeah, that's where then this is how it happened. So one could say it is an unintended benefit that we saw through this program, because the program was not intended to catch or close the net on the zero buyers, but it was to upgrade the meters so that the software from 24 November 2025 customers should still be able to buy electricity or recharge their meters without any problems.
Now, the introduction of prepaid meters aims to root out illegal electricity connections. How effective has this been in reducing illegal electricity usage, and what is Eskom doing to address the broader issue of illegal connections?
Yeah, so the illegal connection has been really a problem, and illegal connection comes in different ways. So you've got those that we're buying from ghost vendors, right? Mm-hmm. And with this introduction or this updating of the software, we believe that the ghost vending portion has been taken care of, because with the new configured meter or the new updated meter, those ghost tokens will not work on this new updated meters. So that's one, which is part of our problem, where people were buying these ghost tokens and these and not buying from legal or from Eskom's legal vendors. Mm-hmm. So this new update has helped us in that, since the 24th of November 2024. Then you've got those that have bypassed their meters, I think in the townships or in the villages, we call it bridging the meter. So those ones, and these are part of the 400,000 that we spoke about. But those ones now we need to audit their meters. We need to issue them with temper fines so that we can regularize them or legitimize them. What we're doing now to sustain this, because we have been disconnecting customers, but we saw that customers reconnect themselves. So we are also we started introducing what we call the smart meters, which will help us to monitor the meters better than with the old type of meters where we needed to go, physically to audit the meter. So with the smart meters, we can virtually audit these meters and visit those customers that would have done wrong, or we see that there is no credit, probably there's illicit credit in the meter, or the meter, or we see the customer is not buying, but when obviously the customer is still having electricity. So that is one of the area that we have invested in, to say that we install or we replace these meters with the smart meters so that they can help us with better functions of monitoring these meters and ensuring that whoever that engages in these illicit behaviors, then they are taken out of the system.
Now, what are the main challenges that Eskom faces in ensuring that all customers pay for the electricity they consume, and how is the utility addressing the issue of non-payment?
Yeah, so non-payment, so remember we've got two types of customers. We've got those customers that have post-paid meter. So our credit management process is working very well, because that obviously if you don't pay your bill, we have to disconnect, or we give you a notice to pay. If you don't pay, we disconnect you, or we enter into a payment arrangement with the customer. So that's the post-paid, and that's how we are managing that. I think our biggest problem now is the municipalities with the 90 billion rands that they are owing us. And I think you have seen, we have some municipalities where we have attached their bank accounts. You are seeing that with some municipalities, we have actually published notices to disconnect. And recently with the Tikologo municipality that we have recently also published a notice to disconnect. And what we're seeing is that when we the municipalities can come forward, and we then, either enter into some form of payment arrangement like this we're doing now currently with Swan. But surely those, municipalities are just undermining Eskom's financial stability and sustainability as well. But that's the process that we are entering into, and we are, working together with the SALGAs, the FOCTAs, and the minister now has also intervened so that we get to, the bottom of the structural issues that are actually making these municipalities not to pay us. So from the prepaid side, as I said, that what we are doing, we are encouraged by the 400,000 that we have seen through this program, but there's more that we still need to do with the 1.7 million. And we are, as you have seen on Monday, customers have been coming forward where they wanted to be regularized. And that's where I think this is encouraging, as I said, from Eskom, because this culture of non-payment is not actually working for Eskom, as Eskom it just undermines our financial sustainability, and how, undermines our operations as well, in terms of ensuring that our customers, get or we maintain our infrastructure so that our customers can get quality and reliable supply. The other thing, as I mentioned, Faisal, is that we have started introducing or rolling out the smart metering meters, and with indigents, because there's also a problem where we've got customers that cannot afford and who bypasses their meters, and then we are told obviously that I've bypassed my meter because I cannot afford. I think that's also not right to bypass your meter. So in those cases, we are also encouraging customers to, participate in the free basic electricity program, because government has that a policy where those that cannot afford can be assisted by collecting a free basic electricity every month. Currently, it's 50 kilowatt hours. I know that there are discussions where we have also submitted as ESCOM to say that this amount, probably needs to be reviewed to about 150 kilowatt hours. But yeah, as I said, that those discussions are still underway. But if they get to be approved, I think that will also assist especially the indigent customers, and we will see the bypass of meters also reducing.
Unfortunately, Daphne, that's all we have time for. I mean, I've got much more to ask you, but I'm sure we can continue with this in future programs.
Yes.
But just to round up, what can customers expect in the coming months as ESCOM continues to roll out this initiative? And will there be any further phases to ensure that all customers are paying their fair share?
Your last question was?
What can customers expect in the coming months as ESCOM continues to roll out this initiative? And will there be any further phases to ensure that all customers are paying their fair share?
Yeah. So with the KRN project, the one that we are currently, rolling out, which the meters expired on the 24th November 2024. That one we have extended that program up until 13 December 2024, so that customers can still, come forward. We can still assist them, because what we did is with our technological breakthrough, the last weeks or towards the deadline, we managed to pre-generate the tokens that enable customers to to update their meters. So we pre-generated them, and then we stored those tokens. So we are now able to give, when the customers can approach us after the 24th, we are able to issue the customers when they go and buy at the legal vendors, or when they approach us at the office. But we are encouraging customers to start by buying these tokens or credit tokens at the legal vendors, and they will receive these 2 additional tokens. If they don't, but they need to take their meter numbers with. And if a customer has no meter number, or has forgotten his meter number, or his meter number is missing, those are the ones that we're saying that they must approach us so that we can assist them further. As I said, that we have extended that process up until the 13th of December 2024. But further than that, or outside to the 13th, once we're done with this KRN, we'll have to reconcile our numbers to see now how many of the 1.7 million customers are still outstanding that didn't come forward, or that still needs to be assisted. Because remember, in this process, one of the things as well that we're doing for the zero buyers is that we also issuing fines. So once they pay their fines, we still need to assist them with those that especially have no meters, because a customer needs to have a meter, needs for him to or her to have a supply in his house. A meter need to be recharged for you to have your supply in your house. So we will be assisting them post 13th December, but then that is outside the KRN program. This is now addressing the balance of the 1.7 million that would still not have started buying or changing their ways of doing things. So that we regularize them or legitimize them to ensure that they buy electricity. Surely, if there are customers that do not want to heed that call and be regularized or legitimized, we'll take harsher steps.
Ms. Daphne Mukwena, thank you very much for joining me in the program this morning. Enjoy the rest of the day. All the best to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we spoke to Daphne McKenna, the spokesperson for Eskom. She spoke to us about the regularizing of the prepaid meters.
أحب الوفاء بشتى الصور أحب الوفي الأمين الأغر فأهل الوفاء.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban 90.4 FM, Peter Maritzburg 105.6 FM.
Lebanese residents return home amid ongoing tensions. Hezbollah and Israel have accused each other of violating the ceasefire as the Israeli military imposed a curfew in South Lebanon. Despite the truce taking effect just 2 days ago, Israel claims suspects breached restricted areas, bombing Taiba and Khiam in retaliation. Meanwhile, many Lebanese are returning home determined to rebuild despite ongoing threats. Let's listen to this audio clip.
A greeting of happiness and resilience. Lebanese are reuniting in Marjayoun despite